consumption. By combining and upgrading to the data package, that's another $2,700. Those are costs that we'll spend that we will not expend on those. And then the paratransit is, you're right, we're reducing or making our service more efficient, so we'll reduce the cost or return capacity of the system that equates to about $50,000. So while I'll agree with your math in general, but just recognize that they're not all one discrete expense.
And Paul, you feel confident that we have that ongoing capacity to take on that additional expense?
I think I'm very confident with that, because if we look at the cost benefit, the additional cost is $40,000. The additional savings is greater than that. So it's actually a net savings to the organization. So we can definitely go that direction.
And I just had one actual question about, I had a question about the instant messaging capability. So we're going to text while we're moving the bus?
No, this would be from in-house. This would be from dispatch.
So currently within the Ranger system and the tablets, we currently have the capability to send a message to an operator. Not to make them text and drive, but to give them an alert so that when they have an opportunity to stop at the next bus stop, they can see an alert or something's been posted via the system.
And I don't want to be the texting police here, but I also just, we've got people on those buses, so I just want to make sure we weren't creating a culture of distraction. We're not doing that.
No, and I actually believe that the operator has to be stopped before they can answer one of those texts. So they have to be like, in a stop position.
And then my other question was just when we were talking about the history, it said that there are 130 paratransit trips scheduled in 2007, and we got the data system. So somewhere in here, in my mind, I was wondering if there's a capacity limit to how many routes the route match can handle. Can we outgrow this upgrade, or is it just unlimited routes that it can handle?
I'm not sure how to answer that question. I haven't seen any signs that we're going to outgrow the capacity. I brought that up to show the usage for route match and what we're managing per day.
And Sean, I don't think we've had any discussions. I don't believe route match is configured to the point where you have a fixed number of routes that you can schedule. I don't believe that's. I mean, we're buying the hardware and the software to be able to schedule those. The number of routes that we can, or the permutations we can make with that, I think is only limited by our own internal resources.
That's all I have.
I have a couple of questions for you. On these tablets, are they iPads or are they proprietary tablets to the system?
So they're not proprietary to the system, and they don't necessarily have to be iPads. Just whatever we can go out and cost for those tablets. It's the licensing that is the important part with those.
So this system does not include the cost of the tablets. Your presentation.
It does.
It
the
does.
41 will replace the existing system.
And then you have a maintenance contract in there. The tablet goes down, which I found that they do from time to time. How is that cost absorbed by the transit system if the tablets go down?
So we have a 1-year warranty on those, and then after that we would be responsible for repairing or replacing those tablets.
The other question is, when the rep was here doing the sales pitch, I asked him the question about can this be integrated into a fare system, and my recollection is that he said yes it can, with additional cost for upgrades to the system. Is that still the case?
That's still the case.
So when we take a look at the system-wide fare system, you believe that this can be worked into the fare collection and accounting system that goes with that?
Yes, for fixed route and for para.
Okay, that's all I have. Any other questions or comments? Staff, if not, I will entertain a motion to consider the route match upgrade.
I would move to approve the purchase of the route match upgrade.
Second.
Okay, motion by Ms. Henderson to move to approve the purchase of the route match upgrade, and seconded by Ms. Johnson. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Thank you very much. Item number 3 on our agenda.
Sir, just an update, I'll be at the Washington State Transportation Association Conference the 21st through the 24th of June. So I will not be physically here for the regularly scheduled board meeting is going to be on the 24th of June. I'd like to propose a different date for that board meeting in June. We've offered the 27th of June if there's an alternative date. we can certainly make it.
Okay, thank you.
I already checked my calendar, the 27th works for me.
And same here.
Okay, I'll make a motion to change the date of the regularly scheduled business meeting from Friday, June 24th, 2016 to Monday, June 27th, 2016, starting at 9:30 a.m. to be held at the Island Transit Operations Administrative Building.
Second.
Motion by Mr. Henderson to change the date of our next meeting.
Mr. Henry.
Mr. Henderson?
I'm sorry.
I forgot to claim all my taxes.
All right, there you go. Motion is the second by Ms. Henderson. Any further discussion? Hearing none. All those in favor of the motion say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Carries unanimously. Thank you very much. We have approval to move forward with our date of change. And now we're going to go into a closed session. And
We need to vote to
Are we gonna have public comment?
let's do that first. Public comment period. Okay,
Sure.
public comment period. Please identify yourself. You have 3 minutes and limit your comments to jurisdiction of this and refrain from any public negative comments about employees dealing with labor relation issues. So, thank you very much.
Shelley Brunke, Freeland, Washington. I noticed that there was not a cash flow report. I didn't hear anything about what our reserves are. Also, I went online last night to double check and see what was online for us to look at before the meeting so that we can, in terms of the budget. And I really didn't see any active. I'm assuming that you all have your budget reports. I'm sure you're all aware of what are, but in terms of the public, just in terms of being transparent, could we get these reports on the website before the meeting so that we would be prepared to ask questions?
Good question. And I'm going to go to Mr. Nortier.
So I don't have an issue with that. Let me, we'll take a look at that and I'll get back to you if we can or if we can't, why we can't do that.
That would be great. Can I now ask what our reserves are currently and where we are standing based on what our projection should be?
I'll let you, I know he's trying to get you folks, so I'll give him a second.
Yeah, as far as I know, they were put on a week in advance, and I'm going to go out there right now, and I'm going to pull that up.
Okay.
It was presented to the board. It's under public information, financial information. Going to 2016 cash report for April, so I'm just clicking on that,
Okay,
and it comes right up for me.
excellent. Okay, I didn't get it last night.
Okay.
Like, here's the same thing.
Thank you.
And so our reserves, we're showing bus reserves, 487,000, van reserve, 238,000, vehicle support, about 35,000, other capital, 40,000, and then what we're calling operating reserve, 850,000, general operating cash, about 1.8 million. So for a total of about $3.4 million in cash.
And
And that was on the screen.
Okay.
She's got it at 7.
one question, when we look at the reserves, because I remember in the past we've always had problems justifying what we call in reserves and what was actually spending that we had done. An example of that would be the insurance that we paid. Are those sums still included, committed funds still included in the reserves? So when I look at the reserve funds, I don't have to personally deduct things that we owe, but we took a delay in paying.
No, we did pay, if you want me to say, we did
Yes.
pay our insurance in January
Yes.
for the year, so that's not something that's hanging out there. But I would say that the other reserves for like bus, van, vans, we intend to purchase things through the grants, so that the matches on those grants will be coming out of these reserves.
Okay. So the reserves do have some commitments.
In fact, what we did is we planned in our budget to
Yeah,
meet
either-
those matches, and then we're putting away the money in order to meet those matches.
Okay.
So that's the idea.
And let me add to this. We have a reserve, and I think it was 60,000 is in that, that's unassigned, that cannot be allocated or spent without the approval. That's what we're building up to.
Yeah, 600,000.
600. That
Right.
cannot be touched without the approval of the board.
Okay.
Yeah, that's our assigned operating, which we currently, what I said was 850,000 is there. And by the end of the year, that should be 1.2, a little over $1.2 million.
Okay, I'll look at this. Thank
In
you.
general operating cash, however, there are funding allocations in that line, that unassigned general operating cash, where there'll be deductions of commitments that we know are coming up. And so that's where that, I mean, that isn't just fluid cash, but that there are commitments in that.
It's not excess cash.
Right.
Yeah, that's what our balance, that meets our day-to-day operating needs.
Okay. Dale?
Gail Taco Park, good morning. Well, one thing, for the PowerPoint, both the pair and the route match, can you get those online later, please? Available, and then with the route match, if I'll check again when I get back home, but I don't believe that 40,000 or any of route match was put in the 2016 budget. I believe Paul and I talked about that before.
You're talking about the match for the grant.
Yes.
That is in the budget.
It is in the budget.
If you go and look at the budget document online, if you look under Department 501, which is our capital, what we're calling our capital department, you should be able to just go down there and find that.
Look at that. And the other thing for the route match, we're talking about for the phones, we know that cell service on the island is not the best in certain areas, so that not a lot of people are going to get some of the stuff out of their cell phones on that if they have a smartphone, without having to print the manifest. Then with the two route matches that they have right now, they should not have to print the manifest either, but they still have to, because the route match isn't working the way it was intended to. And real time, we're supposed to have real time also with the route match, the two that we have right now. Real
We
time
do.
is not an option either.
We have it here. The difference is you're going to be able to see it to the public. So right now, we have real-time, operators and dispatchers can see within route match where a bus is, but that's not available to the public. The difference will be the public will not have access to that same information. You can look at kind of a system-wide map if you want to look at it from that sense of it. And you'll be able to see where buses are.
And I'm going to respond to the comment about the black holes we have on the island where cell is interrupted, in particular as you get on the west side, northwest side, where you get interruptions from the Canadian stations up there. Not a lot we can do about that. The cell service companies continuously improve the coverage, and I think that our coverage will improve over time. It's going to be better than what it is right now. And right now, we are currently working with
Verizon.
Verizon for the cell thing in this area. I just know in the early days when the cell systems were out there, you drive 20 feet and lose coverage. Any other questions? Was that the end of yours?
I just added one thought. It would be really great if we could focus more on maybe getting Saturday service back before buying toys.
We're going to climb into that topic when we get the stabilization plan really in place.
No, I understand your intent, and I appreciate the comment. I'll share with you in general for the public, we are going to look at the entirety of how Island Transit provides service. It is going to be a deliberate process, though, so it's not something where we will make a a rapid, responsive change without understanding the second, third consequences of thinking. So the intent is over the next month, we're going to sit down and we're going to strategically look at how we provide service and where there are possible, and I've heard that from a number of folks in the community already, is Saturday services a desire. So we'll look at that. But we'll balance that with our priorities and make sure that we can provide a service that maximizes the resources we have to the benefit of the community. We are not buying toys ahead of priorities. This is a grant that was set aside, so this is not really an expense to us.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments from the board? Once, going twice. Public comment period is back closed. Thank you very much for your questions. Now we will adjourn into a closed session. How much time do you think we need for this?
I would say
1 minute. All right, we were going to adjourn into a closed session where we know actions or decisions taken there. After 20 minutes, we will come back into session and extend our closed session or adjourn at that time. Thank you very much. We'll stay here as long as everybody else is leaving.
You might get the camera.
Yeah. So let's take a 5-minute.
I appreciate your comment before I drive off.
Yeah.
No, I understand, and I understand your concerns about finances.
Okay, yeah, just we'll be watching. That's it.
Yeah, I would expect you to do that, if you're not.
Okay.
How many times have been investigated? Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you.
See everyone.
All right. Well, thanks for
Sign
coming.
right away.
Yes, sir.
See you.
Have a good trip home.
Hey, Bruce. Bye.
Yeah, have a good